the systemic problem downstream. We're dealing with repercussions and consequences, and we're seeing amazing things like the end of impunity. But where we need to get eventually is upstream to prevention and showing boys and men how not to aggress, how to respect girls' and women's bodies and boundaries. You know, 81% of adolescent boys polled did not know what consent meant. They thought literally it didn't mean that no didn't mean no, it meant try harder. And that is so disturbing, but at least we have the data on where we are so that we can design programs and solutions that will help create healthy, respectful manhood. And I haven't read it yet, but there's a piece in Time magazine today about how to raise a sweet son in an era of angry men. And I want to specifically mention two organizations. One is A Call to Men, and the other one is Mentoring Violence Prevention. And they work with schools, with organizations, with institutions, and they come in with programs. And they're useful to any organization. I mean, they would be useful here because I assure you that sexual harassment is occurring here. It can't not be because of the systemic nature of it.
You know, it's interesting. I've sort of looked back, less so at my work life, but just at life in general, and sort of thought to myself, was there something that at some point in my life that I thought was just normal, that in hindsight you go, man, I shouldn't have done that. And I don't mean anything necessarily major, but even minor things can seem minor to you and not to someone else. And it's been a good lesson for me as well. So I'm sure it is for companies, et cetera.
Well, to that I say bingo. And well done, because that self-inquiry is really powerful. And if more folks would do it, then I think it's shame-reducing also to be able to talk about it. I mean, I consider myself, you know, a very determined and committed advocate for gender equality. It is the hill on which I'm willing to die. And I have all kinds of, you know, non-feminist behavior and non-feminist thoughts all the time because I'm a work in progress too.
Let me ask you a question about being the hill you're willing to die on. You and I are friends. I mean, I should say that. And I watched after the election as you sort of found your voice in talking about a lot of things. You had the protest right after. And you took a lot of criticism from people who were maybe fans of yours or Kentucky fans with you, and a lot of the statements were very mean. And I know you saw some of that. How do you deal with that?
It's a good question.